The ramp that changed Pinewood. In the quiet suburb of Pinewood, where every lawn was manicured and every mailbox gleamed, a single ramp sparked a battle that would expose a bully, unite a community, and inspire a nation. 17-year-old Emily Harris, confined to a wheelchair after a tragic accident, never imagined her fight for freedom would end with a knife held to her face or that it would change her neighborhood forever. This is the story of how one girl's courage turned a symbol of limitation into a beacon of hope. The morning sun bathed Pinewood's orderly streets in a warm glow. Inside the Harris home on Cedar Lane, Emily sat by the living room window, her sketchbook untouched. Her hazel eyes, usually bright with creativity, were clouded with worry. 2 years ago, a car crash had taken her mother and her ability to walk. Now, a new threat loomed. A letter from the Pinewood Homeowners Association, HOA, demanding the removal of her wheelchair ramp. Her father, Robert Harris, stood by the door, his face tight with anger as he reread the letter. "They're at it again," he muttered, tossing it onto the coffee table. "Margaret Collins wants the ramp gone." Margaret Collins, the HOA president, was a formidable woman in her 50s, with immaculate silver hair and a clipboard always in hand. Her letter called the ramp an unsightly violation that lowered property values. It demanded removal within 7 days or a $500 daily fine. Emily's heart sank. The ramp was her lifeline, her only way to leave the house. Without it, she'd be a prisoner in her own home. "Why does she hate me, Dad?" Emily asked, her voice trembling. Robert knelt beside her, his calloused hand gentle on her shoulder. "She doesn't hate you, sweetheart. She's just obsessed with her rules. We'll fight this." But fighting Margaret wasn't easy. Since the Harrises moved to Pinewood, she'd targeted them with petty complaints: grass too long, mailbox the wrong shade of blue. When Emily returned from the hospital in a wheelchair, Margaret's harassment intensified. The next morning, as Emily and Robert prepared breakfast, a car door slammed outside. Margaret's black SUV was parked in their driveway. She marched to the door, her heels clicking like a metronome. Robert opened it before she could knock. "What now, Margaret?" he demanded. "That ramp," she snapped, her voice icy. "It's been 2 years of complaints. My patience is done." Robert's voice rose. "You call a threatening $500 a day patient? Emily needs that ramp." Margaret's eyes narrowed. "I don't care what she needs. This is about property values." Emily wheeled to the door, her heart pounding. "This is my home too," she said softly. Margaret's gaze was venomous. "Don't talk back, young lady. Rules are rules." Robert stepped forward, fist clenched. "Get off my property. Now." Margaret's smile was cold. 3 days, Robert, or the fines start." She stormed back to her SUV, leaving a chill in the air. That night, Emily couldn't sleep. Her room, filled with drawings of forests and her mother's smiling face, felt suffocating. Art was her escape, but even her sketches couldn't erase Margaret's cruel words. At midnight, she found Robert at the kitchen table, papers scattered before him. "We can't afford those fines," he admitted, his voice heavy. Emily's tears fell. "Maybe we should move." Robert shook his head. "This is our home. We're not running." The next morning, Emily decided to act. She opened her laptop and posted on the Pinewood Community Forum, pouring out her story: the accident, her mother's death, the ramp's necessity, and Margaret's threats. She ended with a plea: "I just want to live like everyone else." She attached a drawing of a deer trapped in thorns and hit post. Within hours, neighbors responded. Mrs. Elena Rodriguez wrote, "Emily, you're so brave. We're with you." Mr. Sanjay Patel added, "Margaret's gone too far. That ramp stays." But Margaret fired back. "This sob story doesn't change the rules. The ramp is illegal." Emily's post spread beyond Pinewood. Shared on social media, it reached thousands. She responded with another drawing: a wolf howling at a locked gate, captioned, "Trapped but fighting." News outlets picked up the story, and a local TV station requested an interview. Emily's fight became a national conversation about disability rights. Margaret, furious, posted venomous attacks, accusing the Harrises of defaming her. For every cruel comment, 10 neighbors defended Emily. She was no longer alone. 2 days later, as Emily sketched in her front yard, Margaret stormed over, her face flushed with rage. "You think you can humiliate me online?" she shouted. Emily's heart raced. "I'm telling the truth," she said. Margaret laughed bitterly. "Truth? I'll show you what happens when you cross me." She pulled a pocket knife from her purse, its blade glinting as she held it near Emily's face. You'll respect me now, she hissed. Emily froze, tears streaming down her cheeks. Please, she whispered. Don't hurt me. Unbeknownst to Margaret, Mrs. Rodriguez's doorbell camera captured everything. Shocked, Elena called 911 and uploaded the footage to the forum. This is who Margaret Collins is. The video went viral, sparking outrage. Officer Laura Bennett arrived, watching the footage with a grim expression. This is assault with a deadly weapon, she told Emily and Robert. Within hours, Margaret was arrested, still claiming, it was just a little knife. I didn't mean it. The neighborhood erupted. Stories poured out. Margaret had fined Mr. Harold Grayson for overgrown hedges, forced Mrs. Linda Chin to repaint her house, and banned the Lopez kids from playing outside. Her reign of terror was exposed. At an emergency HOA meeting, Mrs. Rodriguez proposed removing Margaret as president. Mr. Patel nominated Elena to replace her. The vote was unanimous. Mr. Grayson, usually silent, stood. Emily, your courage shamed us all. You stood up when we didn't. Emily's voice was soft. I just wanted to feel safe. The new HOA rewrote the rules, prioritizing accessibility and fairness. Emily's ramp was declared permanent, and the HOA offered to fund further home modifications. Her story inspired letters from disabled kids nationwide. A boy in Ohio wrote, "Your fight got my school to install a ramp." A girl in Florida said, "You taught me to stand up to bullies." 3 months later, Emily testified at Margaret's trial. The jury, after seeing the video, convicted her of assault. She received 6 months in jail, a fine, and probation. As she was led away, Emily met her gaze, unafraid. Pinewood transformed. Neighbors connected, kids played freely, and Mr. Patel's community garden flourished with Emily's mural of sunflowers. 6 months later, Emily received a full scholarship to the prestigious Riverdale Art Institute. On her last evening before college, she sat with Robert on their porch, sketching a hawk soaring above pines. "I'm proud of you," Robert said. Emily smiled. "I'm proud of myself, too." A year later, a magazine featured Emily's story, sparking HOA reforms nationwide. Margaret moved away, her house now home to a lively family. Mrs. Rodriguez, re-elected HOA president, made Pinewood a model of inclusivity. Emily thrived at Riverdale, her dorm fully accessible. Before leaving, she hung a final drawing in her room, a feather drifting on the breeze, signed, "Free at last, Emily Harris, 2025. Her ramp, once a battleground, stood as a testament to what courage and community could achieve. What do you think about Emily's story? Have you faced or witnessed bullying or injustice in your community? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Should HOA rules prioritize people over aesthetics? How should we address violence like Margaret's? Your voice matters, so let's discuss.